Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are tackling something absolutely crucial if you're looking for that next UX role, your portfolio.
Yeah, that one document, it's the gatekeeper, really.
It really is, and the stats are pretty sobering. We hear rejection rates are incredibly high, right?
Oh, they are. Some reports put it like upwards of 90% rejected just at the portfolio stage. It's kind of brutal.
90%, wow.
Yeah, and it just shows that, most portfolios aren't actually doing their job. They're not communicating effectively.
So our mission today is what? To change how you think about it.
Exactly. We need to shift away from seeing it as just an art exhibition. Pretty pictures aren't enough.
Right.
It needs to be treated like a business case, a strategic document proving why you should be hired.
I like that. A business case. It's less about aesthetics and more about, well, results.
Precisely. Measurable strategic outcomes. We saw this great example, actually, where a designer directly linked a huge salary jump, like 50%, to adopting this kind of narrative approach.
Okay, a 50% increase. Now that's demonstrating value. That's the power we're talking about.
It absolutely is. But getting there hinges on speed and clarity, because the biggest hurdle is time.
Recruiters, hiring managers, they're swamped.
Totally slammed. Which leads to what one source called the 55-second death sentence. It sounds dramatic, but
But it's probably true. If you don't grab them almost instantly, you're out.
pretty much.
You
If they
know.
can't see the value, the impact really quickly, you're likely not making that first cut.
Okay, so let's break down that super fast audit.
Hmm.
Who are we trying to impress here, and how little time do we actually have?
You've basically got three main audiences: recruiters, design managers, and then VPs.
Okay.
Recruiters, 80% of them spend maybe 3 minutes or less. Seriously.
8 minutes.
Design managers might give you a bit longer, say 5 to 10 minutes. They're looking more at the craft, the skills.
But VPs, even less time.
Yeah, they're looking for strategy, for alignment. They scan. Everyone's scanning, looking for those key pieces of information.
So with only maybe 3 minutes on average, that homepage is make or break, like a 15-second knockout round.
Absolutely. You have to win right away if someone has to click around just to figure out what you actually do.
They're gone. Moved on.
Exactly. So let's talk red flags. Things to avoid on that homepage right now.
Please, what kills it immediately?
Vague, fluffy language. Honestly, it's the worst. Things like passionate UX designer or I create delightful experiences.
Okay, I see those all the time. Why are they so bad?
Because they mean nothing, practically speaking. They don't convey any actual value or skill. It's just noise. You need to say what you achieve.
Right, the outcome. So give me an example of a good high-impact headline then.
Okay, instead of a generic title, lead with a result. Like, increased mobile conversion 23% for a fintech startup.
Okay, specific, measurable.
Or developed a new onboarding flow that cut support tickets by 67%. See? It immediately shows you understand business goals, revenue, efficiency, user problems.
That really reframes it. It's not who I am, it's what I accomplished. Much more powerful. Like you're an investment.
That's the goal. Now, about quantity. If clarity is key, how many projects should be on that homepage? People tend to cram everything in.
Right.
Yay.
The temptation is to show everything.
Big mistake. This is about curation, not an archive.
Right.
Seriously, showcase 2, maybe 3, of your absolute strongest projects.
Strongest meaning.
Focused, clean, outcome-driven. And this is critical. Make sure they align with the job you actually want. Applying for B2B SaaS. Don't lead with your concept art for a mobile game.
Makes sense. Tailor it. And what about those coming soon placeholders? See those sometimes too.
Never. Just don't. If it's not done, if you don't have results, leave it out. It just signals incomplete work, and frankly, it wastes the reviewer's time.
Okay, good rule. No coming soon. Before we move off the homepage accessibility, you mentioned reviewers are on mobile.
Yeah, a huge chunk are, like almost half, according to some sources. So you absolutely have to treat your portfolio like a product itself. Think about its UX.
Do a mobile audit on your own site.
Exactly. Is it easy to navigate with a thumb? Can you actually read the key results without pinching and zooming if they struggle to use your site?
That's not a great sign for a UX designer. You've failed the first usability test.
Precisely. You're creating friction right at the start.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you nailed that first minute. Sharp homepage, clear outcomes. What's next? The case study itself.
Right, the deep dive into a specific project. How do we keep that strategic momentum going?
We shift gears slightly from like snapshot marketing on the homepage to telling a compelling story. And
It's
narratives.
not just a list of steps you took.
No way. It's the story of the journey. It needs to show your thinking, how you solved problems, how you work with others, and importantly, how it all led to a result.
Okay, let's get into that structure. There's this battle-tested six-step structure that apparently really works. The one that helps managers just say yes.
Yeah, this structure is great because it forces clarity and systematic thinking. Step 1, context, setting the stage.
So the basics: project, client, timeline.
Yes, but crucially, your specific role and responsibilities. Be really precise here, not just, I worked on this app.
More like.
More like, as lead product designer for FinTech X, my role covered the mobile experience from discovery through launch over 6 months, managing 2 junior designers. See? Scope, accountability.
Much clearer. Okay, step 1, context. Step 2.
Step 2, problem, the conflict. And this is where people often get wishy-washy.
How so?
They'll say something like, the website navigation was confusing. Okay, so what? You need the impact, the business pain, the user pain.
Give me the better version.
ShopEasy's confusing navigation led to high bounce rates, specifically a 40% drop-off on category pages, which pointed to a major block in the revenue funnel. Now that's a problem worth solving.
Okay, so define the costly problem. Then step 3 must be about fixing it.
Step 3, objectives. The goal, what does success look like? And it has to be measurable, both for the users and the business.
So not just make it better.
Definitely not. More like, our primary objective was to lift the average order value by 15% in Q3 by introducing a clearer recommendations engine and streamlining checkout. Concrete goals, defined metrics.
Right. Context, problem, objectives. Now we get into the actual work. Step 4.
Step 4, research. Gaining insight. Show your methods, yes, but focus on the key findings that actually influenced what you did next. How did the research shape the design?
And make it scannable, right? Not just walls of text about interviews.
Please, no walls of text. Use visuals, charts, key quotes, maybe diagrams. Show, don't just tell. We interviewed 5 users and found 80% couldn't find the pricing page in under a minute. That kind of thing.
Makes the research actionable. Okay, step 5 must be designed.
Step 5, design. The action. This covers your ideation, your prototypes, testing, iterating. But the vital part, explaining the rationale behind your choices.
The why. Not just, here are screens.
Exactly. Don't just describe the UI element. Explain why that list view works better than a grid for these users trying to do this task. Show contrast before and after is powerful. Show the evolution, not just a static sea of wireframes.
And finally, the payoff. Step 6.
Step 6, results, the payoff. This links directly back to step 3, the objectives. Did you hit those goals? Use concrete metrics. What was the impact on users? What was the impact on the business?
So avoiding weak statements like, we improved usability.
Yes. Strong results sound like.
Sure.
Our final design drove a 25% increase in organic traffic and boosted conversion rates by 15% within the first month after launch. Quantifiable impact.
That 6-step structure feels really solid. Very thorough. But what if you need something quicker, like for a presentation intro or just a high-level pitch?
Good point. For that, you can use more condensed storytelling frameworks. They capture the essence quickly.
Like?
Well, the simplest is probably context, struggle, transformation, basically. Here's the situation, here was the big challenge or problem, and here's how we fixed it and what happened.
Nice and simple. And there was another one, more business-focused.
Yeah, the SCR framework, situation, complication, resolution. This one resonates really well, especially with leadership or anyone outside of design.
Why SCR?
Because it mirrors how business strategy is often discussed. It's logical, concise, situation. Here's the baseline, complication. Here's the threat or problem impacting the business, resolution. Here's how our solution fixed it. It frames the design work as a direct answer to a business need. Very persuasive.
Okay, SCR. Good for presenting up.
Yeah.
And regardless of which structure you use, there's that vital bonus step.
Yes. The executive summary. Absolutely crucial. Think of it as the TLDR for your entire case study.
Too long, didn't read, so put it right at the top.
Right at the top of the project page, before they even scroll. It should nail the headline, context, objectives, strategic value, and results in like 4 or 5 short sentences, max.
Give me a quick example.
Sure. Revamped ShopEasy's mobile checkout, context, to address a 15% drop in conversions costing 50 kilo month, complication problem. New design boosted conversions 18% and increased AOV by 12%. Resolution results. Boom, they get the gist instantly.
Perfect. That sets the stage beautifully for section 3, which is All about language, the translation problem.
Right. We've got the structure, now we need the right words. Because honestly, creativity might get you noticed, but it's business fluency that gets you hired. Especially when you talk to VPs, they think in terms of revenue, costs, strategy.
So it's about bridging that gap between design speak and business speak.
Exactly. You need to sound less like just a craftsperson, focused only on pixels or user feelings, and more like a strategic partner who understands the business implications of your work. Otherwise, you risk being seen as just a cost center.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Contrast the two languages for us. How does a typical design statement sound versus the better business fluent version?
Okay, common design language might be, users were confused by the checkout flow, so we redesigned it to be simpler.
Seems reasonable. What's the hiring manager language version?
It sounds like analysis showed checkout friction was causing a 15% drop in conversion rates, representing an estimated $50,000 in lost revenue monthly. Our redesign directly targeted these friction points to recover that revenue. See the difference?
Huge difference. One is a usability issue, the other is a significant financial problem that you solved. It elevates the work immediately.
Precisely. You're showing the financial ripple effect of your design decisions.
But what if you're more junior, or you just don't have access to that sensitive revenue data? How can you still talk this way?
Great question. You focus on the impact chain. And you can use proxy metrics or make reasonable stated assumptions.
Impact chain.
Yeah, think of it like this. Your design actions lead to improved design metrics, things like faster task completion, lower error rates, reduced drop-offs. And those improved design metrics logically lead to positive business outcomes like increased revenue, better retention, lower support costs.
So you connect the dots, even without the final number.
Exactly. You translate weaker outcomes into more quantifiable achievements.
Can you give an example of that translation?
Sure. Instead of saying improved workflow efficiency, which is vague,
Right.
you could say reduced average time on task for process X by 18%, which we estimate could save the team approximately 4 hours per hours in manual data entry. You're connecting your UI improvement to a potential cost saving.
Or for something like onboarding.
Instead of made onboarding easier, try streamline the onboarding flow, reducing steps by 30%. This is projected to decrease customer acquisition cost, CAC, by improving early engagement. You're linking it to a key business metric, CAC.
And it's okay to use projections or estimates, even in, say, a conceptual project.
Yes, as long as you're responsible and state your assumptions. Based on competitive analysis and usability testing, we project this redesign could reduce cart abandonment by around 15%, potentially impacting revenue. You're showing you think this way.
So the key is demonstrating that strategic mindset.
Yeah.
Thinking in terms of things like ARR, annual recurring revenue, or operational cost savings, even if you estimate.
That's it. You're proving you think beyond the pixels. You're thinking about the bottom line.
Okay, this is super helpful. Let's shift to section 4. Advanced presentation tactics.
Yeah.
Because getting the interview is one thing, presenting your work effectively is another. This is where you really show your process and thinking live.
Absolutely critical stage. And the number one rule when presenting, especially visuals, ground everything in the why.
Don't just describe what's on the screen.
Please don't. Nobody needs you to read the UI. Instead of saying, so here I used a list view, and I put a search bar at the top. Say, our main goal here was to drastically reduce the time enterprise admins need to find specific users. Given that over half our clients manage upwards of 10,000 users each, a scannable list view combined with powerful upfront search and filtering was essential for their daily productivity. That's why we prioritize this layout.
Connecting the design choice directly back to the user need and the business context. Smart. And static screens alone aren't always enough, are they?
No, definitely not. High-quality visuals are table stakes, obviously. But bringing the walk to life with prototypes, maybe some animated GIFs or short video walkthroughs, that adds so much more depth and understanding than just clicking through static mock-ups.
Makes it feel real. What of the presentation slides themselves?
Keep them clean, legible. They should support your story, not be the story. Avoid packing them with dense text you should be doing the talking. Stick to high-impact visuals. Maintain a consistent look and feel. Maybe use, like, max 3 main brand colors to keep it professional.
Good tips. Now, the final piece of the puzzle, often overlooked but really important. Reflection.
Yes. The lessons learned and next steps. This is where you show maturity, adaptability, and strategic thinking. It's a huge differentiator.
How do you talk about lessons learned without sounding like you messed up?
Be honest, but frame it around growth. Don't just say, I learned testing is important. That's generic. Give a specific example.
Like what? Give us a strong example.
Okay, maybe something like, Initially, during prototyping, I over-indexed on features for our power users. Testing quickly showed this created a steep learning curve and higher abandonment for new customers. The key lesson was the need to design for progressive disclosure, which led us to implement a guided onboarding sequence for first-time users.
That shows self-awareness, problem-solving, and adapting based on data. Much stronger.
Exactly. It shows you learn and adjust.
And the next steps. What's the purpose there?
That shows you're thinking strategically, beyond just the project's end date. What's the logical evolution? Where could this go next to provide even more value?
So, suggestions for future work.
Yeah. Maybe you suggest expanding into new markets, or integrating AI for recommendations based on the data you now have, or iterating on a feature based on post-launch feedback. It shows you're thinking about their continued growth, tying back to the business or user needs. Shows foresight.
Okay, so pulling this all together. The case study isn't just a project diary.
Not at all. It's a carefully crafted, persuasive story. It proves you're not just about making things look good. You're a systematic problem solver who delivers tangible, quantifiable business value.
You're designing with impact in mind. You're thinking like a designer and a strategist.
And you're communicating that value using the language that resonates with the people doing the hiring. That's the winning combination.
So we want to leave you, our listener, with one final, really practical action item. A way to test if your portfolio is actually hitting the mark. We're calling it the 5-minute stranger test.
Yes. This one is direct. Maybe a little brutal, but so revealing. Find someone who knows nothing about design. A friend, your partner, a family member, anyone outside the bubble.
Okay, and then what?
Show them just your portfolio homepage. Give them 5 minutes to look at it, no more. Then, take it away and ask them 3 simple questions.
What are the questions?
1. Can you tell me what kind of business problem I typically solve? 2. Do you have a clear sense of what my specific role or contribution was on the project shown? And 3. Can you remember one specific concrete result or achievement I mentioned?
Wow, okay.
If they stumble on any of those, if they can't articulate the business problem, your role, or a measurable result after 5 minutes just on the homepage.
Then your portfolio isn't doing its job. It's not communicating impact clearly enough.
Exactly. It means you need to go back and refine that homepage immediately, sharpen the message, focus on clarity and outcomes.
That is a brilliant, practical test. The ultimate check for clarity and strategic communication. Go try it. Start testing. Start building that strategic narrative.
Absolutely. Get that portfolio working for you.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for tuning in.